Jay Ajayai back to Philly? More than likely, this is gonna happen.
Still the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly.
Scary Cooper, asshole!
Oh, Diva! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy!
Happy trails, Hans.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, everybody, Lou came in by here, so another day, another blown diet. I blew my diet again. Oh, man. You don't want to hear about this kind of stuff. What am I thinking? You don't want to hear about the 3 chins in the back of my head, or how they have to butter my hips to get me through the door. You don't want to hear about that. What I meant to say was another day, another running back rumor for the Eagles. Now, this one, I think, is very likely to happen. I would put it over 50%. Now, as you guys may know, the NFL owners' meetings are going on this week. Drew Rosenhaus, Jay Ajayai's agent, was there, and he was talking to the media, and he was asked, what's the situation, what's the deal with Jay Ajayai? And he said that last week he visited the Colts. It was a good meeting. He left without a contract, and the Eagles still remain engaged and interested in bringing Jay Ajayai back. But they are letting him go out, test, his value, see what he could get on the open market. And because he's coming back from a torn ACL, because on the other knee, he has a degenerative knee, I don't think he's going to get a lot of money, and I think his best option is going to wind up being signing a 1-year deal with the Eagles and then trying to come back and prove his worth by doing that. This is what it looks like. This looks like this is where it's going. It looks like he's going to eventually come back. I don't know how soon, but it just seems like that's the way it's going to go. When the Eagles acquired Jay Ajayai, there was nobody more excited about getting Jay Ajayai than me. I mean, I was flipping out. If you were watching the live stream that day when it happened, I was flipping out. My videos, I think I did 2 or 3 videos on it right after. I was just so excited that the Eagles pulled that trade out of nowhere. I liked Jay Ajayai when he was in Miami. I liked when he came to Philly and what he did, coming, to a team at the trade deadline. I thought it was a great trade, great pickup. I was even excited about having Jay Ajayai as our starting running back last year going into the season. You see, I like Jay Ajayai. I really do. I like the kid. I knew beforehand when the Eagles first got him, I knew he had a degenerative knee problem where he basically has bone on bone, very painful. And the thought was that, it probably will cut his career in terms of length, how long he plays, but he could play on it for at least a while in the next few years. That was the thinking. Then he goes and he tears his ACL on his good knee. Now, this happened last year, and he tore it, and that concerns me a lot because he has a bad knee already on the other side. Then he tears that ACL, and we know just basically from history that guys that come back from a torn ACL the next year, they're not the same. It usually takes them a whole full year to get back their explosion, to get back to where they were. So now we're dealing with a guy with a bone-on-bone knee, with a torn ACL, with not a lot of explosion, and who knows what he's going to be able to do this year. So for that reason, I was looking at Jay Ajayai saying, maybe he's not the guy we want to bring back. At least in terms of a number 1 running back and number 2 running back. Now, I've said this in prior videos. If the Eagles get Jay Ajayai and he is a complement running back to 2 other guys, I'm good. That's fine. I have no problem with that at all. So let's say the Eagles go out and they draft Darrell Henderson and they have Corey Clement and they have Jay Ajayai and they work Jay Ajayai in with those 2 guys. No problem. I think that's fine. I think that could work. But if he's the number 1 guy and it's just him and Clement, I'm worried. I am legitimately worried about the running back situation. Now, if this was the year after next year, I mean, if it was like 2 years down the road, Jay Ajayai, I would be more interested because usually you need that whole full year to recover. So probably in 2 years he'd be ready to go. He'd be fine. But that next year coming up, that scares me, and I wouldn't trust Jay Ajayai as my number one back or even my number two back. So that's my thought process. Now, once the Eagles sign him, if they sign him, if and when, my thought is going to be that I am not going to hate the move or be against the move until I see what else the Eagles do. If they go and they draft a running back early, if they, do something like that or sign a guy, I'm okay. It's okay. But if Jay Ajayai is the only move that they make, then I have a problem with it. I'm not going to like the signing at all. I think the Eagles need to still draft a running back. If they do that and you bring Corey Clement back, okay, I'm good. And then maybe Josh Adams blossoms. Who knows? But the Jay Ajayai move, I think, can't be viewed as, here's our running back. This solves all our problems. Now we don't have to worry about getting a running back because we brought Jay Ajayai back. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. He needs to be one of three other guys, in my opinion. Work him back in slow. He may be ready for the start of the season. But even if he's ready for the start of the season, it may not be till week 10, 11 before he starts getting, some of his explosiveness back. So we just don't know. So I think this is going to happen. I do, because I don't think Jay Ajayai is going to get what he wants on the open market. Not with the bad knee on one side, a torn ACL, on the other. I think he's going to sign a one-year deal with the Eagles, and then he's going to wind up coming back, and it's going to be a prove-it deal. And hopefully the Eagles won't rush him back. They'll let him work in it slow, and then, they'll still have a rookie running back. Maybe trade for another running back. I don't know, but they'll have somebody else and Corey Clement and Jay Ajayai. Then I have no problem with it. So tell me what you think about this. Do you think the Eagles should bring Jay Ajayai back? Do you think that they should bring Jay Ajayai back and trust that he could be the featured back? Because to me, that's what it's about. It's not so much bringing Jay Ajayai back. It's bringing Jay Ajayai back and then giving him the bulk of the load or making him your number one running back. That's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with him being a complimentary back with a rookie back in Corey Clement. And, used a lot like they used him in 2017 when it was him, Clement, and LeGarrette Blount. That seemed to work real well. If the Eagles do that with Jay Ajayai this year and get a rookie running back and then Clement, it's not as bad. I have no problem. But if they get Jay Ajayai and say, you know what, we don't really need a running back, we'll take a running back in the 6th or the 7th round, whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. So let me know what you think. It sounds like the Eagles are still interested in bringing Jay Ajayai back, and I think this has a real possibility of happening because I don't think Jay Ajayai will get what he thinks he's worth on the open market. So I see a one-year prove-it deal coming down the pipeline for Jay Ajayai at the running back spot. What do you guys think? Let me know. Take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.